With midfield options like Gundogan, Xavi, Pedri, Frenkie de Jong and Oriol Romeu, it's safe to say that Barcelona's midfield is easily amongst the best in the world again. But as there's that much depth in midfield right now, Xavi will have difficult choices to make this season. When everyone is fit, you've got 5 world-class midfielders, but you can pick only 3 of them. So who do you pick? And who do you sacrifice? Well, that's what we're going to discuss in this video, so make sure to stay tuned. Let's first of all look at all of Xavi's options and their profiles. Pedri first of all always plays as an interior who likes to roam in between Lewandowski and the midfield. He's very press resistant, he'll make runs forward sometimes to link up with Lewandowski and to look to use his creativity to create goal scoring opportunities. But his biggest quality is probably that he's the kind of midfielder who never makes the wrong decision. He's always aware of every situation all game long and knows when to play what pass. He's a master of the pausa, the skill to know when to accelerate and when to slow down the play. His vision is also excellent, so you have someone with him who can cause danger with through balls at any moment. Defensively though, he's okay, but he's not the kind of midfielder to always win back the ball for you. Gundogan is actually very similar to Pedri. He also likes to play in that space between the midfield and Lewandowski. He'll also make runs forward to be dangerous in front of goal and to link up with the attackers. And he's also press resistant. His passing is excellent too, and he has the quality to play through balls in behind the defense. On top of that, he's also got that situational awareness that Pedri has. And he's not bad, but not the greatest at recovering balls either. Xavi, on the other hand, is a different kind of midfielder. He's less likely to really link up with Lewandowski and roam in and around the penalty area at moments. He is more comfortable playing at the real central midfield and being a link in Barcelona's ball circulation up there. He is very press resistant though, he can also easily create danger through his passing, as he doesn't need much time to see an opportunity. But one of his biggest assets is the fact that, in contrast to Pedri and Gundogan, he's very good at recovering balls when Barcelona have just lost it. He's excellent at reading opposition passes and he's just not afraid to go for a tackle without any doubt whatsoever. Then there's Frenkie de Jong. He's more comfortable playing a little deeper on the pitch and will often go and ask the ball at centre back to go and create a play from there. From there, he will be comfortable going in attack with the ball and he can be kind of a roamer. But it always starts in quite a deep position. He's, again, very press resistant, he can easily run forward to break through the opposition's midfield, and his passing and vision are absolutely world class. He's again that kind of player to cause dangerous opportunities with one simple through ball. Defensively he's not bad, but recovering balls has never been his biggest quality either. Finally, there's still Oriol Romeu. He's an all-out defensive midfielder who can recover balls well, and in possession he can be a great asset because of his vision and passing. He also isn't afraid of going for a shot sometimes too. So these are Barca's 5 main midfielders and their profiles. But the big question is of course, how do these 5 fit together? Well, if I were Xavi, I would choose my midfield 3 based on the opponents you're playing against. Against real world-class teams like Real Madrid for example, you don't want to play Frenkie de Jong at defensive midfield, as he's at his best when you allow him the freedom to roam and create a play. When he does that though, he will leave that defensive midfield position wide open, leaving yourself vulnerable to counterattacks. That's why, especially against big opponents, it's best to play Oriol Romeu at defensive midfield, as he will guarantee you that you won't leave yourself wide open there, and he is still someone with good vision and passing. Now, one thing's for sure, if Pedri is fit, he will start against big opponents. You need him to control the midfield and dictate the pace of the game, and you need him to create a link between midfield and attack. If Xavi wants to rest Pedri for some reason though, or if he's injured, then Gundogan is the best option to replace him with, as they are very similar. Gundogan is maybe even better when it comes to linking up with the attackers and making runs forward, as he's done so at Man City for years. But who's the third midfielder? Well, it depends on what you need more. If you know that you'll need creativity because you're playing against a team that defend well, like Inter Milan for example, I'd go with Frenkie de Jong. But if you play against a team that are notorious for counterattacks, like Real Madrid for example, I'd play with Xavi. It really depends on your opponent, I think, and what you need more. The ability to stop counterattacks from Xavi, or the ability to create chances from Frenkie de Jong. That's for the real big games. But if you play against teams that like to play football, like Real Sociedad or Real Betis, I think I'd still play Romeu at defensive midfield, because these kind of teams can hurt you when you're too open defensively. But attacking wise, I would just go for as much creativity as possible. That means that one of the 2 spots is for Pedri or Gundogan, and the other, well, for Frenkie de Jong ideally. But then again, you're still going to play against low block teams as well sometimes. What do you do then? Well, in that case, I would drop Oriol Romeu. You really just care about creating chances as easily as possible now. So I'd play Frenkie de Jong at defensive midfield, Xavi at central midfield as he can help to let the ball circulate quickly, which is important against low block teams. And again, either Pedri or Gundogan at the other spots to make runs forwards and link up with the attackers. The reason why I'd never really play Pedri and Gundogan together is that they're just very similar. And I think you have a more all-round midfield with 3 different profiles. And we know Gundogan is already quite old and Pedri has to be rested enough or might be injured like he is now, so this won't be the biggest problem either. So those midfield 3, I'd pick them considering what team you play against and what you really need. Will it be a balanced game where you'll have to look out for the opposition as well? Or will you have the ball for 90% of the game and do you know you will just need as much creativity as possible? That's what determines the eventual composition of the midfield for me. But there's one last suggestion that I thought about. The problem with a midfield with Frenkie de Jong at defensive midfield is that he's too much of a roamer to have defensive solidity there, right? But what if Xavi uses Xavi to solve this problem? Xavi is excellent at recovering balls and he will have no problem playing wherever Xavi needs him. So when Frenkie de Jong leaves that defensive midfield position, Xavi could fill it up as long as necessary to make sure there's defensive safety there. This is something that might work and that might allow Barcelona to play with a Frenkie de Jong, Xavi, Pedri midfield 3. Their best possible midfield for the future probably, without being defensively vulnerable. Frenkie de Jong would be the defensive midfielder, Xavi would just know that he needs to play there in case Frenkie de Jong moves forward with the ball. I'm interested to hear what you think about this and definitely let me know if there's any other possible midfield composition that Xavi could opt for. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and feel free to share your own opinion in the comments down below. Força Barça and have a good day.